Trojan Sports Now.
Hello and welcome to Trojan Sports Now. I'm Amy Austin.
And I'm Clay Yeager. Stick around as we bring you the latest news and scores from Troy Athletics.
The women's basketball team finished up their road stretch at Appalachian State over the weekend. The Trojans were explosive as soon as they hit the court. Troy defeated the Appalachian State Mountaineers 108-87. The Trojans came out shooting and never looked back. Troy shot 57% from the field while App State only shot 44%. The Trojans led at halftime 59-43. Troy then came back out in the second half to score 49 more points and pass the century mark in a game for the first time this season. Renita Garrett led the Trojans with a career-high 28 points. Ashley Beverly Kelly shot 25 points, 17 of those points in the second half. The win makes that a season sweep of App State for the Trojans, and Associate Head Coach Jennifer Graff said how important this win was for the conference standings.
We were able to score a lot of points in that game, which is always very helpful for our team. That is our main focus, being able to get up and down the floor and being able to score. And that game was huge for us. The girls did a great job because it was the end of a road swing. We were at Arkansas State, then had to travel over to Boone, North Carolina, and there was no easy or short way to get to Boone, North Carolina from there. So, but we got there, and the girls really stepped up. And like I said, we were able to score a lot of points. Renita Garrett, Ashley Beverly Kelly, a lot of kids stepped up for us. To be able to bring that win home really helped us out, especially in the standings.
The women's basketball team then returned to Trojan Arena after the long road stretch. The team took on in-state rival South Alabama to try and secure another win under their belts. With the conference tournament just around the corner, the women's basketball team is striving for every win possible, and the team defeated the South Alabama Jaguars 78-67.
We're very thankful to have a Trojan win tonight in Trojan Arena. We're glad to get this first win against them. Though we forced 31 turnovers in the game, that sounds like it was an up-tempo game. It didn't feel like it. It felt a little bit slower. We only got 70 shots off. We strive to get 100 shots off every game. So it's kind of an odd game in that way, but we got out-rebounded. I think that's the only stat that we didn't win in is the rebound column.
The Trojans forced 31 South Alabama turnovers throughout the game. This was the fourth opponent that Troy has caused to turn over the ball over 30 times.
We always try to create turnovers on the other team. We always want to win that battle. Turnovers hasn't been a huge problem with us, thanks to good guards like Ashley. It hasn't been a huge problem for us, but what we always try to do is just create as many as we can for the other team.
Troy is currently tied for third in conference standings, and the Trojans have 6 games left before the championship tournament. And with the end of regular play drawing near, junior guard Ashley Beverly Kelly said the team is getting to where they need to be.
I think we are almost there where we need to be. I think we need to stay consistent like with these 2 wins so that we can be able to go in with a lot of confidence when it's time to go to the tournament.
The Trojans are now 9-5 in conference play.
The 2-game win streak for the men's basketball team was halted last weekend as the Trojans fell to Appalachian State 65-62. In the first half, App State gained the lead with their free throw shooting until Troy took their only lead on the night when the Trojans fought back with an 8-2 run. It was the story of the night for the Trojans as the Mountaineers responded with a 10-2 run to make the score 21-14 with 12 minutes left in the first half. The two teams traded buckets throughout the remaining minutes of the first half until Christian Harrison and Kelton Ford made free throws to trail App State 33-27 at the half. Troy fought back in the second half as the Trojans tied the game up after making up for an 11-0 run by App State. However, the Trojans couldn't score until 1 second after the buzzer to give the final score. Assistant coach Ben Fletcher says even though it was a close loss, the Trojans played hard.
To go up 3 and have the ball late in the game, we didn't do what it takes to finish. But give them credit. They made timely shots. Buenoff off the bench was terrific. Had 15 and 10, but just a very, very disappointing loss for us.
The men's basketball team had a chance to bounce back from their loss against App State as they took on in-state rival South Alabama. I was at the game to catch all the action. The men's basketball team had plenty of energy for their game against in-state rival South Alabama, but they were not able to transfer that energy into the game as they fell to the Jags 71-67.
To go up 3 and have the ball late in the game, we didn't do what it takes to finish. But give them credit. They made timely shots. Buenoff off the bench was terrific. Had 15 and 10, but just a very, very disappointing loss for us.
The Trojans trailed most of the first half, but the second half was a different story as Troy managed to regain the lead. However, missed shots and free throws are what halted the Trojans for a comeback.
But, you know, I don't know how to explain missing all those close shots at the rim. We had several opportunities right at the rim in the second half. And then free throws, free throws don't have anything to do with effort. Nobody wants to miss a free throw, but we go 11 for 19, including a couple front ends of the bonus, and in a close game. I mean, they come back to haunt you.
Now with an overall record of 9-14, senior Kevin Thomas says the wins will come if the team can grow and come together.
End of the day, everyone just wants to win. You know what I mean? I think that would develop over time. I know it might sound weird knowing that right now it's like towards the end of the season, or it's kind of like we should be doing that before. But I think still that still trying to build that chemistry.
With the Trojans now 4-10 on the conference, head coach Phil Cunningham says he needs to get his team back on track and quick for next game.
We're down. We're down. We're as down as any point in the season. We're as down as we've been. Everybody wanted to win this game. Had a great student turnout, which was fantastic. So obviously they're down. They're down, and so this now our backs are against the wall, and we've got to come back Saturday ready to play. Though we got a team coming in here that could care less, if we're down or not.
The Trojans will now look to rebound against UL Lafayette.
The Trojan softball team opened their home schedule with a commanding 16-4 victory over Florida A&M Friday night in the Troy Classic, only to split their games in Day 2 of the Classic. Khadijah Torbert gives us a look.
Troy splits on Day 2 of the Troy Classic Saturday night. The softball team defeated Buffalo in 5 innings, 11-0 in the first game, before falling to Western Kentucky 4-0.
I thought the girls came out today really well in their first game. I think we've done a great job the last 3 games before this fourth game of coming out and scoring a lot of runs in the first inning, and I just attribute that to them being ready and having great warm-ups.
Coach Mullen says the team must make adjustments and do better about putting the ball into play, but overall she is happy with the fast-paced start.
Really happy about how we started fast in the first game. Our pitching today I thought was incredible. I thought Ashley Rainey, JC Affelt, and Sarah Mock did an incredible job today. We got to do better adjustments in our second game. We faced a great pitcher, but we're going to face a lot of great pitchers this year. We got to do a better job of putting the ball in play.
Even throughout the cold, fans came out and cheered on the Trojans in their first tournament of the season.
It was great. I could not have been more happy. We had a ton of fans, and I hope they were excited, and I think we put on a good show in the first game, and I have no doubt they're going to be back out here tomorrow.
Coach Mullins had 2 key words left to add for the games this weekend that weren't victories.
Bouncing back, it's a long season. We talk about it all the time. It's a marathon and not a sprint, and what you do after tough losses is what's going to determine your season, and I think we're going to come back and do the same thing we've been doing, is be strong in the early innings and finish out games.
Khadijah Torbert, Trojan Sports Now.
The Trojans are now 2-3 on the season and trying to break a 2-game losing streak.
The men's tennis team had their first home match of the season against Southern Mississippi as they ran away with the win 7-0. Troy started the day off with wins in the number 1 and 2 doubles matches as Hassan Ndishime and Andy Lau won the number 1 spot 6-2. Pablo Moreno and Gabriel Diaz won the number 2 doubles match 7-5. Troy would then play singles to take the win. The Trojans won 4 matches in straight sets with Diaz at number 1, Lau at number 3, Daniel Bustamante at number 4, and Giovanni Esmaha at number 5. Ndishime won his third 3-set match of the season as he beat Juan Po Tseng in number 2 singles match. After the singles match, they will now put Ndishime at 6-1 in singles play this season, and head coach Scott Kidd says he is happy with how his players performed.
Our top guys took, they had tough matches and they played close. They played with big hearts. I was very happy to see Andy really perform from the beginning to the end. He didn't fall away in the match. He fought the entire match. Daniel Bustamante, we call him Busta, and Givo and Pablo, they're the ones that pulled through us this weekend, giving us 3 wins at 4, 5, and 6 singles.
The men's team is now 5-4 overall, and the season in 2-0 in conference play.
The women's tennis team headed to Jacksonville, Florida to compete in a pair of matches over the weekend. The Trojans split the results of those matches. Troy took on UNC Wilmington first and came away with the win. Troy defeated the Seahawks 6-1. The match started with a win by Trang Hyun and Anya Kosovic, which made them 4-0 on the season. Troy also won 5 of the 6 singles flights. Troy then took on North Florida, but fell to the Ospreys 5-2. Troy was able to win the #1 double spot with Hune and Kosovic once again. The two are now 5-0 on the season. Hune and Kosovic also won in each singles flight at #2 and #3. The Trojans are now 2-3 so far this season.
The track and field team competed in the Middle Tennessee Invitational over the weekend and had several highlight performances and first-place finishes. Zach Douglas won the shot put competition with a 14.7-meter throw. Allison Taylor finished second in the weight throw with a 16.02-meter throw, while Miles Charlie finished third in the long jump. Sydney Wright also had a personal best in the women's 200-meter run with a time of 25.39 seconds. Head coach Mark Davis says the meet was good practice for the Sun Belt Championship.
Goal was to kind of get prepared for Sun Belt Championship and get into a meet where you have to go and beat people and not just try to run fast. You know, at championship meets, it's not always about time. A lot of times it's just about beating somebody, and that's what we were trying to get accomplished again.
The Trojans will now head to Birmingham once again for their next meet this weekend. Still to come on Trojan Sports Now, we'll have a preview of the Trojan baseball team's opening weekend.
But first, I had the chance to sit down with women's golf player Langley Benoit. Stick around for more Trojan Sports Now.